What's up, guys? This is my new YouTube channel talking about fishing and just my journey with fishing. So, I used to fish a long time ago, like 20 years ago, and I dropped the hobby, and I haven't been fishing for a very long time, about 20 years. Um, the last time I fished, my ex got pissed at me and threw like five or six of my Daiwa Laguna reels into the Mississippi. So if you want some reels, go look in the Mississippi in New Orleans. You might find them. They're probably rotted and rusty by now. Um, yeah, that's when I stopped fishing. But now I'm not with that woman anymore. So I'm picking up the hobby again, my old love, and I'm gonna show you guys what I've purchased within the past month and a half, and I think I've done pretty good. Been doing some research and seeing what's good. The Daiwas are still good quality reels. But I picked up a couple Shimano's, two Shimano's, and I want to get a couple more and a couple more Daiwas, and then I think I'll be okay to go and start making some fishing videos for you guys. Um, I've been fishing the small city pond, catching a bunch of dinks. I think there's a couple of lunkers in there, maybe one or two. That's really hard to catch because there's a lot of overgrowth and weeds and stuff. But I'm gonna continue to fish that little pond and see what I can pull out of it, and I'll probably make a couple of videos about that. But with that being said, let's talk about the gear that I've purchased. The first one that I purchased was this thing, which is the Lew's Speed Spool. This is $100 for the rod and the reel at Walmart. $120, I believe. The thing is made sturdy. It's made great. Not great, but it's made to a point where I actually like. I really did like to use it. It doesn't have the handles. I switched the handles. I put it on the Daiwa, which I like better. The only problem that I have with this thing, I don't know if it came dry, if the gears need to be greased or oiled. Um, it just backlashes a lot. No matter what I do, no matter what settings I put, no matter the brakes, no matter the these brakes on this side, um, no matter the the drag, no matter how hard I set the drag or how loose I set the drag, it just does not want to work no matter what I put on. I can put on a crankbait, I can put on a spinner, I can put on a worm, I can put on some light. And I've tried it with 12 and 15 pound tests. It just freaking backlashes every so often. And I don't even like it. I mean, say I do 10 casts fine, and then bam, here's the backlash. I'm like, wow, really? So it's kind of aggravating. I can deal with it. It's not a major backlash. I pull it out a couple times, and I can go back to fishing 10 more, 10 more casts, and then it'll backlash again. For some reason, this reel does that. I don't know why it does that. I just don't think this reel is, really made properly the way it's supposed to. I think one of the reasons why it's like that is because, check this out. The bottom is so close, it's so low profile that if I do this, I can feel that spool. See my finger? If I lay it even right there, I can feel that spool right there, which is crazy. It's right there. Look at it. You can see it. I think that's one of the reasons why it backlashes. Because once it starts to fluff even just a little bit, it's going to backlash. If you can see that line right there. It's crazy. I'm like, why make such a low profile reel like that? That it'll backlash. It's just a backlashing type of reel. There's other low profile reels, but like you can tell the Daiwa isn't so low profile where the real the line is gonna reach the bottom unless you really spool it up a lot. See, has a little bit of give, a little bit of leeway. This one's another low profile, but you can tell it's not as low as this at the bottom of the reel. See, look how low that is. That's really low. That's like right there. This is the Daiwa CT, and you can tell it's not as low. It's a little bit of leeway there. It's not so low where if you have just a little bit of fluff, you're backlashing. See that? That's crazy. And I didn't even spool it up all the way. There's still orange showing. See the orange? There's still orange showing there. It's not a full spool. So that's my problem with this reel. Maybe I need to take a little bit more line off. I don't know. Maybe I should because it's really low. This is a really low, so low that it might touch your rod on the fluff. So I just set this to the side. I don't know. I'll give it another chance. Take some line off of it or something. I don't know. But if anything, you catch anything big, it might just spool you completely. Okay. So I did change the handles out. The reason why I changed the handles out because this Lew's Speed Spool does have a good handle. I really like this handle. I don't know the size, but it does feel good when I'm turning it. I like these handles, even though they're styrofoam or whatever. I don't know. High grade styrofoam or cork maybe. I don't know. But I did put it on my CC80. Now my CC80 is also kind of low, but it has a little bit of leeway at the bottom there. The spool really isn't touching. But then again, I didn't spool this 100% or 90%. Maybe I spooled this like maybe this is spooled 95% and this is spooled 90%. There's a little, you can see the sides there a little bit better. But this one, the cast is smooth. It doesn't bend. I really like this reel, and this is why I put these handles on it, just so I can get more torque and more speed in the retrieve. This I believe is a 7-5. I try not to get really low. I do have really low gear ratio reels. I have one that's like a 5 to 1 or something like that. But this one I believe is also a 7. I try to get the high cranking reels. I don't know why. I just feel like those are better with the way I fish. Because when I want to set the hook, I want to be able to crank and set really fast. Once I see that line pulling out by a bass, and then the tension starts to tighten, I want to be able to whack him, break his jaw off if I have to, because I really want to get that hook set. So yeah, this is the CC80, and this is a good $100 reel. Okay, I paid less than $100 for this. I think I paid like $80, but this is a good $100 reel. So the quality on this to me is much better than the quality on this Lew's Speed Spool Xfinity. So, except the handles. I mean, I can deal with the handle. I really do like these handles from the CC80 or CR80. What is this one? Yeah, CR80. The handles are good. Look, check that out. And nice, But I just wanted the handle to be just a little bit bigger. Or the thumb grips. The finger grip is really nice on that. It's really cool. But this one is also nice, but it's a little bit bigger. That's why I switched the handle. And I said I might as well put good use to these handles. So I put them on the CR80, which I still use. I actually took a picture with a little kid who was using this and caught a bass off of it. So, and this is why I know this reel doesn't backlash as much as this. Because if I would have gave that kid this reel, he would have backlashed his ass off. But I gave him this, and he did really good. And he actually caught a couple bass off of this. Now the Daiwa that I'm about to talk shit about is this thing, the CC80. Do not purchase this. Do not purchase this CC80. This is a carbon composite, I believe. The frame is a carbon composite or carbon graphite or whatever the hell this is. It flexes. I don't like it. It just doesn't feel, and it backlashes. Out of all the reels that I like, I wish I could return this one. Someone wants to trade for this, hey, I'm more than willing to trade. I don't want this. I like the handles. The handles are pretty cool. Check that out. Handles are cool, but everything else about this reel, I I just don't like. The side frame can open. You can see the brakes and stuff, but I just don't. I think this is the MagForce braking system, but I don't like it. It feels like a toy almost. It feels like a toy. I do not like it. These are real. These two rails are supposed to be similar, but this CR80 is 10 times better than this CC80. I need to get, I believe it's the CA80, which is like kind of like silver and has orange. That one, a lot of people talk good stuff about that one. So no, I don't like this reel at all, man. I do not like this reel. Um, it's just, I can't deal. I do not like this reel one bit, man. People may like this. They may have people out there that actually like this reel, but I can't cope with this reel. I really can't. I do not like it at all, man. And I love Daiwas. I'm not even trying to talk crap about Daiwa at all. But when they made this reel, I have to say the only good thing about this reel is the handle. And I fished with these reels extensively for the past month, like hours a day, or like maybe 3-4 times a week, and I'm using them, and I know what's going on with these reels. Now, with those three low budget reels out the way, let's go into like I guess you would call them mid range, $100 to $200, $300 range, two something. This one is the CT, the Daiwa Tatula CT. Now, oh my God, quality. The only thing I don't like about the CT is these little bitty handles. I mean, these little bitty thumb holders, finger holders. That's just small. Now, this is the SV. Now, look at that. Look at the comparison. See that? Now, I might change these handles out and put the CC80 handle on it. I think that's what I might do. Yeah, I might change these two handles out. Yeah, the CC80 looks to be a little bit bigger. Yeah, no, it's about the same. It's about the same size, but I'd rather have these handles than these little things here. I think I might do that today. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Change those handles out. Hopefully, nothing goes wrong and everything's perfect with it. Hopefully. So yeah, the CT100. Oh my God, yes. The only thing I don't like is the retrieval because of the way the handle feels. It just feels like it's not giving me enough. It's not giving me enough. I mean, it's fast. This one is a 7-3, and this one's fast. But oh my God, this SV is an 8-1. 8-1. So for every turn of the handle, like say if I start here, for every turn that completes itself right there, it's like giving me like this much of line coming in. 30 some inches worth of line coming in. That's a lot of line per turn. Now that's crazy. And I measured it. I've actually measured it with my reel, and I'm looking at it, or not measured, but I looked at it. It's like it's a good 32 inches, a foot and some of line coming in. And I'm like, holy cow, that's a lot compared to my 5-1 Corrado, which is really slow. And I like that really slow because for slower presentation, like you want to crank a spinnerbait really slow, you get that 5-1. That's awesome. It catches fish like crazy. Okay, so my Daiwas, awesome. I'm gonna get the Elite next. So my SV and my Tatula, my CT 7-3, 8-1. Oh my God, man, these two reels are fantastic. Now, I did backlash in the beginning of these reels, but once you get your settings in, there's hardly any backlash at all. Just awesome reels. I recommend the SV. And the only thing I say, if you get the CT, you're gonna have to change these handles out. These handles suck. They're so tiny. It's like, look at my big fingers. I'm trying to like reach for toothpicks. It's just not it's not girthy enough, you know. That doesn't sound right. It's not pronounced enough. Put it like that. It's just so small, and it's just like, you know, it's just. I need something like this, you know. Come on, Daiwa, give me something where it's a little bit more meaty, where I don't have to look for it when I'm trying to turn it. This little thing here is like set. You know, you get your, and you do this, and you're like fumbling for the handle. I'm like, oh, no, you know, and then it's like you got to turn it, and you're fighting your reel as you're turning it. You know, you're pushing your. Like I don't want to fight the reel and the rod while I'm turning the handle. I want it to be a smooth transition. Okay, but it's a great reel. It's a great reel. Casting is awesome, phenomenal. All right, next reel I'm going to talk about was possibly I bought the two at the same time, which is the Xfinity bait casting reel, and then I bought this thing right here. So which is the Lew's Xfinity spin reel. And this reel has done me justice. The only thing that I'm going to say don't do with this reel is put heavy line. I got 12-pound test line on here. You're going to have to go lower. That 12-pound test line is just way too strong for this spin reel. It feels awkward. You're going to need, I'd say go 8 or 10. But I got 12, and it's just like, it's just too much. It's too much strength for this reel. This reel and rod combo cannot handle that 12 to 15-pound test line. It's just like when you're casting it, you can feel it on the reel. It doesn't cast smooth enough, you know. So I'm going to go lower. But other than that, this reel has done me justice, man. I've caught some pretty big catfish on here, but it still feels awkward. I've caught a lot of perch on here, crappie on here, and I've just recently done some bass fishing with it, with 7.5 tequilas culprit, 7.5 culprit. I believe, yeah, this is the culprit. Something like a tequila sunrise worm. But yeah, I have no complaints about this reel, man. This is an awesome little combo setup that I bought from Walmart for, I believe, 70, 73, 80 bucks. And so far, so good. It's the IM7. I got the IM8 bait casting rods. So, yeah, no complaints. Just a normal spin reel. Not bad at all. It's got a little bit of design to it. Pretty cool. I might get another one. I'm looking for an ultra tackle just for straight crappie and brim. Sunfish fishing. So here's the next one I'm going to talk about. I actually took this rod from the Xfinity because I didn't want to buy the Mock Crush combo. I just wanted to buy the Mock Crush, which is BAM. The Mock Crush. I don't know why I put the spinnerbait on here. I should have put the spinnerbait on my Corrado because this thing is a fast retrieve. I believe this is a 7 or something. 7 to 1. It doesn't say on the reel. I doubt this is an 8 to 1. But man, this is an awesome reel. I can cast a country mile with this thing and no backlash. Crankbait. I had originally put crankbait on this thing. This is medium heavy speed stick IM7, I believe. I think it's a medium heavy. I think all these reels are medium heavy. I'm not sure what this is. IM7. Is this a medium heavy? I don't know. It's a speed stick. I'm guessing this does feel like my IM8's medium heavy. It doesn't say. What is it? I don't know if this is medium, but this is a nice reel. Okay. Yeah, medium heavy. 6'10". Line weight 10 to 30 pounds. Power medium heavy. Action fast. Yeah. Okay. So this Mock Crush, killing it, man. I love this Mock Crush. I don't like the loose speed build. I'm guessing that the Mock lineup, which is the Mock Smash. I don't know about the Mock Smash. I'm scared to get that one. The Mach 2 and the Mock Crush. Oh my God. I don't know about the Mock Crush 2 or the Mach 2, but the Mock Crush. This baby here, I recommend. Lew's did a hell of a job on here. Now they said KBD's Lose Reel, that burgundy one or red one, has the same system as this Mach Crush. And if that's the case, I say go for it. I think they're about the same price, to be honest with you. Go for it, because this thing, oh my god, is a dream casting it. It is so, it's like casting like a Daiwa or a Corrado. Awesome, awesome, awesome casting. Awesome casting, this Mach Crush, man. And this combo that I have, this little cheap Xfinity reel, medium heavy, whew, man, gets the job done. Love this reel. I've caught a few fish off of this Mach Crush. Okay, let's get into the next reel. Let's go with my last two reels. I'm going to save. It's got to be the Corrado. Now, I bought this Corrado at a pawn shop. This is the Corrado 200 DPV. Check this bad boy out. I didn't spool it all the way because I'm using it for like lighter line, and I don't want to spool it all. I think if I do spool it, I probably would get backlashes, but since I left half of the spool unspooled, and I've been casting this thing, I have gotten no backlash, and it is perfect for lighter lures, and like I even got a worm on it, and it casts far as hell. It's a big, chunky, heavy reel, and it fits in my hand like I love it. It isn't light. It's to me, it feels heavy, and it feels well made. The frame doesn't bend. I love the handles, though. I think if you leave these handles in the sun a little bit, it starts to like kind of melt or feel weird, or like if you're sweating, it's just really rubbery, like gum almost. But other than that, it still feels good in the hand. I love everything about this reel, man. I bought this at a pawn shop for $89, and this is a $200 reel. I think they say that people who fish for redfish and stripers are still wanting this reel. This is a highly wanted reel in the striped bass community and the redfish community. This reel is highly sought after. So yeah, I am happy I got this for $89. I saw this at the pawn shop and I was like, that's a Corrado. I've never seen one like this before. And I picked it up, $89. And man, did I get a good deal. It's hardly scratched up. Check that out. No scratches. Like there's like a few bumps. There's one little scratch right here, but you barely can see it. Like I can rub that out, you know. Yeah. Awesome reel. I checked the brake systems. I opened it up. It was greased up really nice. Whoever had this reel and pawned it, man, they took care of it. They took good care of it. So I was really happy about that. All right, and I got this from a pawn shop in Athens, Texas. Okay, so if you sold this reel or pawned it, I have to say you're a big dummy. I don't mean to insult you, but man, thank you. Okay, the last one and final reel is the Corrado DC. Now this reel I love equally just as much as my Daiwas and that other Corrado and the Mach Crush. All of those reels, my Daiwas, my two Corrados, and my Mach Crush, I love them equally with this DC. This DC, there's two things that I don't like about this DC, but I still like it. Okay, don't get me. It casts far. It does not backlash. Okay, that's I like. But here's two things that I like that I don't like about the DC. Is I like it, but I don't like it. And here's what I like: the sound. The sound is awesome, but I don't like the sound because when you're pond fishing and you're walking up on the sides, and this thing starts to whiz and makes that sound when you're casting it, it spooks the fucking fish. It spooks the hell out of fish, especially if they're right there, like 10 feet, 5 feet next to you, and you cast this thing and this thing goes, bzzz, it spooks them. And that's what I don't like about the Daiwas and this other Corrado is quiet. The Mach Crush is quiet, you know. And when you're doing this, even if you cast it out just a little bit, or maybe like 20 feet, it'll make that sound. make that mechanical sound that everyone loves. And I love it, but I hate it. I hate it when I'm pond fishing. I'm walking ponds and I'm casting, and this thing goes bzzz. Fish are spooked. Fish are spooked when they hear the whip of your rod. When you whip your rod out there and you go, fish get spooked, believe it or not. So that's what I hate about this. Just it'll spook a fish like big time. Another thing that I don't like about this reel is, check this out. When I cast out, right, and as soon as it hits, I want to do this. Okay, I want to do this, but check out how heavy it is when it does it. It goes, bam. That click back. I know you're supposed to like maybe drop your line, but that click back is just so heavy, and it just pulls. It pulls your line, and I'm trying to let it drop to the bottom, and I know the fish can feel that mechanical click back. That right there, man, that kills me, man, because I know I'm spooking fish when I do that. Especially when you're trying to creep up on fish and you cast it out, and then your line is a little bit tight, but you're wanting to sink, and you do that click back. Listen, and you can feel it in the reel. So I know the fish can feel it in the line. That's too heavy. Like, I'm gonna try to keep my hand totally still. That's too heavy, man. I can feel that, and I know the fish can feel that. Unlike, here, I'll show you. Let's see if I can show you. It's just too much of a. It's a meaty click back. Let's see this one. I know this one doesn't do it as much because I don't feel it. It's light. Look. Feel how light that click back is. See, that's not as heavy as that Curado DC. That Curado DC's click back is just way too powerful. Let's see if this one does it. Yeah, see that it doesn't affect the vibration of the reel or the rod. Watch. See? It doesn't really move me. It's kind of subtle and light. This one too, let's see. Yeah, this one's subtle and light. It's kind of loud, but it doesn't move the reel. Let's check out the Mach Crush. That's one thing. That's another thing that I don't like about that Curado DC. But I love the Curado DC. See, that Lew's is even lighter. That Lew's is light as hell. Fish won't feel that click back. Listen. Yeah, nothing. You can't feel that. But that when you're doing that Curado DC and I'm fishing with it, and I get ready to reel in, and that click back on that thumb bar, that's just way too heavy. I can feel it all in the rod. That's a strong click back, man. Yeah. Watch my hand as it vibrates. That's too much, man. That's just, I mean, it's not that much of a big deal, but to me, when I'm creeping up on fish and my line is getting tight, or like I see a fish trying to pull it, and I do this, they'll possibly let go, man. I know I've had to. First of all, number one, I've spooked many fish with this damn reel walking around the pond. Period. I know I have. I've seen it. I've seen fish just wave. The wave and the water just shoot out because this reel is going, and I'm like, oh my God, I just missed a big fish right there. So yeah, I love this reel, but there's two things that I don't like about it, which is the click and that whizzing sound, which I love, and it's a love-hate relationship with this reel. I love the aesthetics. It looks damn good. It's a great looking reel. Aesthetically, it's awesome.